You are sitting on a wooden deck that smells like raw salt and unwashed men. The sun is hammering down on open ocean. There is nothing in any direction. No land, no ships, no wind. Just heat and water and the slow creak of timber that has been wet for 3 months without drying once. This is what most pirates actually experienced. Not the raid, not the gold, not the sword fight. This. The version of piracy you know is almost entirely wrong. It was built from trial transcripts, recruitment pamphlets, and novels written by men who had never spent a single day at sea. The real thing was documented in crew logs, eyewitness depositions, and personal letters from merchants who survived pirate encounters. When you read those documents, a completely different world appears. Most pirate voyages lasted between 3 and 6 months. A successful raid might take up 15 minutes of that entire time. So what did they actually do? The first thing you have to understand is the smell. A pirate ship in the early 1700s carried between 50 and 150 men on a vessel roughly the size of a large house. There was no ventilation below deck. Men slept in hammocks so close together that their bodies touched. The bilge of the ship collected seawater, dead rats, rotting food, and human waste. It was never fully dry. Sailors called the smell the breath of the ship. It was the first thing visitors noticed and the last thing crew members stopped noticing. You ate twice a day if conditions allowed. The food was heartic. A dense flour and water biscuit baked until it was almost stone. After weeks at sea, the biscuits were alive with weevil larvae. Experienced sailors tapped them against the table to knock the insects out. New men just ate them. Salted meat came in barrels of brine so thick it had to be soaked before cooking. After 2 months, the meat had a texture closer to leather than food. Gums split, wounds reopened, teeth loosened. Men who survived sword fights and cannonballs died from a vitamin D deficiency. So between boredom, hunger, and illness, what filled the hours? Gambling? Constantly, compulsively, sometimes catastrophically. Dice and cards dominated pirate ships. But some captains banned gambling completely. Not because they hated it, because gambling debts created fights. Fights created injuries, and injuries meant fewer men when danger arrived. Pirate ships were not random chaos. They were organized societies with rules, boats, and agreements. Crews elected captains, the quartermaster controlled supplies and settled disputes. But democracy did not cure boredom. Music filled the silence. Fiddles, pipes, drums, anything that kept men entertained. Musicians were often protected because morale mattered. There was swimming. When the ocean was calm, men jumped overboard. The sea was their bath and their playground. Sharks were a known risk. Most men jumped anyway. There were competitions, rowing races, climbing contests, wrestling matches. Pirates even created their own theater. They reenacted raids, they performed mock trials, they created stories about the lives they had chosen. And then there were injuries. Most pirate ships had no trained surgeon. Amputations happened on wooden decks. Rum was the only anesthetic. Infection killed more pirates than battle. Then suddenly, a ship appeared on the horizon. Everything changed. Men who had been half asleep for days moved instantly. Sails adjusted, weapons loaded, every man had a job. Most pirate attacks ended without fighting. The pirate flag itself was the weapon. Its message was simple: surrender or fight. Pirates preferred surrender. A captured crew meant valuable information. They asked about routes, naval patrols, ports, valuable shipments. Information was as important as treasure. Then the raid ended. Cargo was taken, treasure was counted, the quartermaster secured the goods, and the ship returned to normal. Sailing, waiting, eating weevils from hard biscuits while men played cards below deck. The Golden Age of Piracy lasted roughly from 1680 to 1730. Thousands lived this life. Most were dead within a few years, not from battles, from disease, accidents, execution. You are sitting on that deck again. The sun is still burning. The ocean is still flat. A man 3 feet away is losing a dice game he has already lost 4 times today. Someone below is playing the same 6 notes on a fiddle he has been playing since Tuesday. Nothing is happening. Nothing will happen for another 11 days. This is what pirates actually did between raids. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Comment down below, what do you want to see next?